Okay, welcome to the Rivervale podcast.
Thank you, Sam.
And today I've got in Mr. Jeff Nailard, used vehicle director. Jeff, how you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Mate, listen, great to have you in. And look, we're going to jump straight in. Opening question. Tell us about what sparked your interest to work in the motor trade. How did you get started? Are we going back a few years here, Jeff?
We are. I've wanted to get into the motor trade since about probably 1983. There was some friends of mine that worked in the motor trade. I worked at the time on the railway as an engineer. I was awful, hated it, and that was the route I wanted to go. I was given the chance, and I haven't looked back.
Wow, that's so. What was your? Tell me about the first role that you had there. What was that?
I pestered a guy that was running Rivervale Mercedes for. It was actually a year. I would call him from phone boxes. There was no mobiles in those days. And the last conversation I had with him was, well, if you've got the cheek to keep pestering me, I'll better see you. And that was the last conversation I had, trying to get my foot in the door. I went to see him at Rivervale, and he offered me a job as a trainee. But the apprenticeship, as I call it, was to start right at the bottom, which was in the mornings cleaning the workshop with one of these machines that scrubs the technicians' bays. Afternoon, learn how to clean a car. And then on a Saturday, I would shadow and work with the sales guys that were there full time. And that was done for a year. The next year was as a full-time trainee in his office. So I had a desk in his office. And again, it was learning and then starting to go on some courses. And then the next year, it was out. They'd let me go like a dove, and off I went. I mean, when I went for the interview, I didn't have a suit. So I was a 24-year-old that probably didn't even know what a suit was. So I had to borrow my dad's. Unfortunately, my dad was about the same height, same weight, but the suit weren't akin to a 24-year-old. And the chap that was interviewing me, who I worked for, later on he told me he tumbled that. And,
He let that go.
Yeah, but he said to me, I admire you, because he said you could have turned up in jeans, T-shirt or pullover, but at least you know. What he didn't know, I also had my dad's shoes on that were too big. And I nearly went flying when I walked out of the showroom to get the bus home. But, yeah, you know.
Brilliant.
I think there's a glamour side to the motor trade. So, yeah, everybody likes cars. And back in the mid-'80s, it was a well-paid job. I'm not saying everybody is interested in cars, but there is a certain glamour about it, and there was then. And the opportunity to then was to work for Rivervale that initially sold Mercedes cars. So, you know, it weren't difficult to get excited about it. When you're in a sales environment, it's very competitive. But there's a line that you don't cross. You work with people because no individual is bigger than the company. And funny enough, I looked at what you've got on the back of your sweatshirt.
Yeah.
And the question is, what is success? And the answer is love. So if you love doing something, you enjoy doing it, you'll be good. If you're a footballer and you love playing football, you'll become great. And then if you become great, you'll love it even more. And I think that's synonymous with every walk in life. If you know, if I worked at I don't know, a banking institution where I might earn 2 or 3 times as much potentially, but I didn't like what I was doing, I didn't understand it, then I wouldn't be good at it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I love the fact that exactly that, but we've got to want to take that opportunity as well. You obviously saw that opportunity, and you could tell, like listening to you, still with that passion about the motor trade, and I'm assuming that's what gets you up in the morning because you still love being involved in the industry to be in there as long as you have, which is great. Well, look, last one, just as we're going to round up, mate. Just tell us, is there anything else you want to share about your journey or leave us with about the motor trade itself?
I think everything I've said from my head and my heart. So if we want to make a booking for a year's time, I'll update you.
Love it. Because
I don't know. I don't know, but that's what I think. That's what Walter says.
Amazing. Mate, listen, it's been great chatting to you.
And you.
Thanks for your time.